Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible. Cool, thanks. So my name is Bharat Agrawal. I'm a software development engineer and team member at GDG Jalandhar. Today we'll be discussing about overview of JavaScript again, but at part two. So in this, today we'll be saying about basic introduction to DOM. So let's see what we have today. So we have introduction to DOM. Then second, we have hands-on what we can do with DOM and other stuffs. And also we'll be creating few uh, those application today. And we'll see what you can do with the JavaScript next. So without further ado, let's start with DOM. So does anybody have any idea what is DOM is? What is DOM? Anyone, like, you can just unmute yourself and speak, or you can just type in the chat box.
Hello. Yeah, hi, this is Agam. So I would just like to say that, it's just like, first of all, basic skeleton before we start, working on a website. And for example, if you want to say a basic structure, it's just a pen and paper model. And so that that developers have an overall idea that how the overall structure is going to be seen, basically a holistic view of the website before it's built.
It's, yeah, kind of, yeah. But like, we have the different definition for DOM. So we'll see in a bit what Rajiv says. The way container are placed in exactly the way containers are placed in a web page. So that's what the DOM is. So basically, DOM is like acronym for document object model, and it is like represented. It represents the page so that the program can change the document structure. So I think you all know what a document is. Document is something which we see on our screen. That's a this document basically is. So it allows us to manipulate the documents, it allows us to style the documents, it allows us to add the content to documents and other stuff. So the DOM is basically a representation of the nodes in a document. So it's kind of a like a tree-like structure. You can say it's like a tree with an array tree basically. So it has a numerous number of nodes. So let me give a crux about DOM. It's like when a web page is loaded, the browsers create this document object model to make the things easier for us to like manipulate it and to add another nodes and different things. So with this object model, JavaScript gets all the power to manipulate it to create create dynamic HTML to make the website such dynamic and interactive. So we'll see the structure, how DOM is being structured. So there is nothing, as you can see, there's document at the root. So we call document as a root node. In this we have HTML tag, and I hope you all are aware about HTML. Just give me a quick plus one or something. Yeah, cool. So under that document we have a HTML node. So you see in HTML node we have this two parameter, just two node as well. Like there can be multiple, but as of now we have two. The one is head, the another one is body. So in head we have like different tags, which is a title, meta tags, and other stuff. And in body we can have like any type of tag which HTML supports, or we can also create our custom tags. Yeah, so body in this case, you see there is two tags. The h1, one is h1, then the p, then p also has different tags. The one is a string, then the I tag, and there is like another is like what is the string is. So it is something like it has like different type of nodes associated with a DOM. So this is what a DOM tree is. So you see, document is a root node. So we can always, like, if I have at the P, then I can always get a parent node which is body. Its parent node is HTML. Its parent node is document. So that's how it is like a tree like structure. The represent, you can say it is an array tree representation. So did you guys get it? What is DOM tree is now? Cool. So this is the structure of DOM tree. So we'll also see this today in how a DOM tree looks like while creating application. So let's see some methods which we can perform on DOM. So these are not only the methods, but these are some few methods which I mentioned. We'll be going to use these methods today, and we're also going to use some other methods as well while creating application from scratch. So you can see we have this document. As I already mentioned, document is a root node. So we want to get an element which has ID as something has ID. So get element by ID. It's like of calling a function inside a something. So it will give us the node which has the ID as ID from this document. So document specify as a parent node. So in the parent node, from the parent node, we want that ID, that node which has ID something. Same with the class, get element by class name. So this in the first one, as we all know, a document can have only one ID, and there can be multiple classes in a document. So the next one, the second one will give us the array, and the first one will give us only a node. The same with the get element by tag. So it will give us all the nodes which has the tag. If let's suppose I want to get all the p tags in my document, so it will I use get element by tag name. So it will and in the brackets I'll mention the p. So it will give me all the nodes which has the p tags. The another one is very important, which we more frequently we use today, is like create element. So it will allow us to create that node, and you can insert that node in any node. Basically, if I show you, then if you create a node, you can also insert at h1, you can also insert at body, you can also insert at p, you can insert anywhere. So that's what create element do. It will dynamically create elements at the runtime when JavaScript loads, or whenever you want your function wants to create that element. And you can always append. There's a lot of methods like append, child, and other stuffs. So we'll be seeing today in our hands-on session. Okay, so I'll show you how this DOM works, and then we'll go on to the creation of a to-do application. So let me quickly share my complete screen. I hope you got this one, what I am trying to say. Just quickly give me a +1 or something so that. Cool. So I'll also show you today that how we can link a external script tag with the script with our HTML tag. So I have this folder, you can see to-do folder, and in this I have two files. The one is index.html and another is main.js. Both are empty. So we'll be having some. So I created a basic structure about HTML. So you see, I have doc type HTML. This is like a defining of HTML5. Then I have HTML tag. Then I have head tag, as I showed you earlier. Like in HTML, we have two nodes. The one would be head and another would be body. And so in the head tag, I have different tags like meta tags and title. And in body, still I have empty. Okay. So we'll see. First, let's analyze some of the methods which we have generally. So I'll create something like h1 the world, and I'll give id equals to hello text. Okay, so you can see hello world is over here. So if I inspect it and I see how the DOM look like, so you can see there is HTML, then under that there is a another node which is head node, then under that we have the body node, and you can ignore this one. This does nothing but my Grammarly. Yeah, in the body we have different nodes. the one with HTML. You can also ignore this one. You see, you can see H1, and if I add more over here, hello text 1, hello text 2, hello text 3, hello text 4. So you see, these are some so these are the tags which I've created just now. So if you see, the HTML is a root, this is a root, then we have head under that, and then the another would be body, and in body we have different nodes, h1, h1, and all the h1s with ID these ones. So we'll see how we can get these IDs and what we can do with the IDs. So before going ahead with that, let's attach this JS file with our HTML file. So what we can do, we can have a script and we have src, and now we have to give the path of this file. So as I am in the same folder, so I will just do main.js. If I write console.log, see the script tag is over here, sorry, this script tag is coming up here, and it loaded, and it is console log hey. So that's how we attach our JS file with our HTML file. There's another method we can do, is we can, instead of attaching a different file, we can always do stuff over here as well, like inside the same HTML page. So if I write over here logging on page, see it is also there, and it will also visible in your that inspect element tab. So that's how we can get JavaScript running in a browser. So I hope you guys get till now. Gives a thumbs up if you are getting it or anything. Cool. So I hope there is the document object model is a bit clear about it, how it's look like and what it is. So if as I mentioned, what is document is. So you see document. If I type document over here, you see I got this one, and if I keep unwrapping it, it will give the same result as I have in the inspect element tab. So document is nothing, just a root node for the page, and document refers to the whole page which is visible to us. And under the document, everything is available in web. Got it? Yeah. So moving ahead, we'll see how you see this node has ID hello text 1, this node is hello text 2, hello text 3, hello text 4. So if I write document dot get element by ID, and I pass this hello text 1, so you see I got this node. If I hover it, it will referring to the node which I just got. So this is how we can just get the reference of a node inside our JavaScript. So similarly, we have document dot get element by tag name. If I pass the name of the tag, let's suppose I want to get all the h1s. So you see I got 4 h1s which I have in our my DOM. So that's how we get the reference to a node inside our JavaScript. So that's what we are also going to use today by creating some our application. So we'll be creating today to-do application which has feature like you can add a to-do, you can delete a to-do, or you can just cross it if you are done with the to-do. So that's what. And if I show you how can you create an element, so let's suppose I have let new. I hope you can see this console. Is it visible? Console is visible. Cool. Or let me zoom it a bit. Yeah. New element equals to document. Since we are referring to our original document which we have, and dot create element. Now we need to pass which element we want to create. Like we can create h1 element, we can create any type of element. So if I create h1, And you can see now if I, so you can see my new element is of type h1. We don't have anything in head, but we can assign it like new element dot inner. Now we have two things, inner text and inner HTML. In inner HTML, we can just assign our whole HTML code as well. Like we can use tags and other stuff. In the text, it is like only be assigning the text in between these two a tag, which is opening and closing tag. So basically, inner tag will just do this. Inner HTML will do this string inside the tags. So if I show you, inner text equals to dynamic element. Now if I say print new element, you see it is the same as this one which we are getting. And now we can also insert this element with newly created element into our DOM. So how we will do that? We can just append it to our DOM. So if I see document dot get element by tag name, I want to append it to my body of body. So if I see body, I got this one, and if I use 0, 0 means this is the array, and since there can be only one body inside that, and append child. So this will allow us to append a child node into the this body node, and new dynamic element is over here. So that's how we can dynamically create new elements. We can get the reference of the elements dynamically. We can get reference of elements by tags. We can get it by classes. We can get it by IDs. So we are getting it from what I'm trying to make you understand. Cool. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah. So that's it in the DOM manipulation. Yeah, of course, we can also add the styles as well into the our elements. So I'll show you two type of things. The how can we assign the styles or other stuffs to our newly created element as well as on the old elements. So if I see, we have ID as hello text one. So I want, let's suppose I want to change the color of this, the background color to be, to change the color of this text. So how can I do it on runtime or by JavaScript? So what I'll do first, I'll just get the reference to it, document by ID. What ID? Hello text one, and I'll store in some variable like hello text one equals to this one. So I had the reference, I have the reference of this hello text one, the first one. And what I'll do now, hello text dot style. So you see, we have different types of CSS styles we can use. So we have like align items, we have animation, we have background, we have the color as well. In this property, we have the color. So what I can do is like hello text one dot style dot color. What color I can give? I can give any type of color like red. See, the color has changed to red. So that's how we can make our HTML interactive with use of JavaScript. So we have different types of methods, or you can say properties, to change the style. We can do many more things. We can just set the what should happen by clicking on this, and we can do many other things. We'll do today with that thing as well. So I hope this is clear to you guys. So if you get this one, then we can just move on to creating some that to-do applications. It might take some few minutes to. Cool. So should we proceed with the to-do, or you wanted me to recover this one? Or if you have any questions till now, you can just ask by unmuting yourself, or you can just post in the chat box. Cool. So let's move towards creating that application. So we'll be going to use all these different type of methods in our when we are creating that application. So I assume that you guys have a bit knowledge of HTML before moving towards JavaScript. So we'll be using some HTML tags like uh, input tag, a button, and so as I recently showed you, so let me just quickly get a few things. So I hope you got this one, what I'm trying to mention over here. I created an input button first, input box first, which is like a type of text, and it has ID to do input box. And I created a button with nothing, just a sample button of like having an add as its value. So you see, this is how it looks like. So it's do nothing, just a sample boilerplate which we are using today. So our main focus will be on JavaScript. So we'll be seeing that part. So what I want, firstly, let's get the reference to that input box. So how we'll do, let to do equals to document. So nothing, just we recently we saw how we can get a reference or to an element. So I did nothing. I just got the reference of this element since I want the values which we will be mentioning over here. Since we are creating an application which will allow us to like add a to do to the list item, and we can just delete it. We can just mark as done and those stuff. So for that, we want something text which from where we can get. So I'll be using this input box to get the text. And when we click on this add button, it will keep adding the items to the list. Cool. So the to display those items, to do items, I'll use this div. If I show you, you see, this is how it's keep appending, but it will be done by JavaScript. Instead of doing again and again over here, we can just make it interactive so that users, if someone puts something over here and click on add, it keeps adding it to the DOM. That's what we do. So first, let's create a function. Okay. So this is a function. It does nothing, just a empty function. So we'll be calling this function when our button is clicked. So how can we do that? We have different methodologies, like by clicking the add event listener. So basically, event listeners are those which will trigger themselves when something happens to a node which we are referring to. So if I see, if I go to click on this add button, and then I just use an event called click event. So whenever I click on this add button, it keeps adding to the, it will invoke that function. But we have another method as well, which is like an attribute of a button, which is on click. So on click, we can pass the function over here. We just like we want to call this function add to do. So we can just pass over here add to do. It's function call. So basically, whenever I click on this button, it will invoke this function. So just to give you an example, okay. So if I refresh the page, and if I click, just ignore this one. If I click on add, you see button clicked. So as number of times I click on the button, it will keep calling that function. So that's how we can call the function. We have another method called, if I remove this one, and if I give it an ID like add button, if I write something like document dot get element by ID add button, as I already mentioned, we have to do anything with the DOM, we must get the reference to that node. So that's how we get the reference, by different get element by methods. Like we can use get element by id, we can do get element by name, tag name, we can get class name or and this stuff. So what I'm use add event listener. So it will add a listener to that button. So whatever listener I want pass over here, if I want to pass a click event, so whenever someone click on that button, it will invoke a function. Yep. So now if I click on this add button, it will see, you can see it's from listener. So what I did, I first created the reference to that object, that node, and then added a event listener to that. What type of event listener? It is click. You can use, there are lots of event listeners available over here. You can use any like abort, blur, on click, sorry, cancel, change, click, close, and like focus out and many other stuff. So for this purpose, we are only using click. Okay, did you guys get this one? How can you make button interactive? How can you perform actions by button, or how can you invoke a function by a button? Cool, thanks, sir. Yeah. So moving ahead. So as of now, I'll just comment this out, and I only use the other one just to make things simple. So till now we have seen how can we get a reference to an element, how can we do something with the button when button click. Not only this button, but we can insert add event, we can append, we can use that add event listener to any type of node. We can use with the div as well, we can use with the input as well. So it's pretty much like multi type of thing. We can append any event listener to anything. Yeah. So now let's see how can we get this text which is in input box. So there is a method, there is an attribute called value with these inputs. You see, we have this value equals to something. If I see, there is this value. So we want we want to get this value, but in our JavaScript. So how can we get this? So as I already created a reference to it. So if I say let value equals to dot to do input dot value. And I printed that value. So if I go to and just remove this one. So if I add something over here, and as soon as I click on this add button, so what it will do, it will fire up this add to do function. In add to do function, we are just getting the value from that reference which we have input reference, and just we are printing it. So you see, oops, I misplaced. You see, Bharat is over here. So whatever I type here, it will be in the console, since I am just printing it when as soon as I click on the add button. So that's how we get a value from an input box. So it kind of any type of, we can also get the same the text box as well, but as of now we are only using the input. Yeah. So that's it till now. So we'll see how can we create an element and just append to over here so that we can just have a better look. So for that, let me create another function which is like function. By the way, you can also use arrow functions over here, but as of now I'm just using this one function render to do. So for this, I need a value which I have to just append it. let's create an element. So what type of element you want? You can just use any type of element. As simplicity, I will go with the p element. So let to item equals to document dot create element. What type of element I want to create? As you can see, there are lots of elements we can create. Like we can create code, call, dd, and other stuff. So I'm just interested in p tag. So our element has been created, but it's just a structure of element we have created. We haven't applied anything to it. So if what I want to add the text which I got from the my value, this input box, to this to do item. So what I'll do, to do item dot inner text equals to my value. So what it will do, it will assign, it will create something like this p, and over here it will say value, whatever the value we have. So it will create something like this, this type of yes. Cool. So now we created it, but it hasn't displayed yet. How will display it? For this, we'll be using append child method, as I already showed you. So, but to which we have to show it? We want to append the child to this division. Since I created I created partition, like I have the body full, then I created this input box and button. So now I want over here, which is, you can see there is a blank div we have. I want to append the childs to this blank div. So how will I do that? Firstly, the first I have to get the reference to it. So like to do list first document dot get element by id. What id we have? It's to do list. So since I have the reference to it, so I can manipulate this node. I can do pretty much everything which HTML can do. So with this JavaScript as well. So I'll do to do list dot append child. So append child will allow us to add the nodes to it. So I want to append this to do item with it. And now we have appended it, but now we need to call this function as well. So whenever add to do function call, I'll pass on the things to it. So let's see, I refresh it. So if I type Bharat, you see it appeared over here. If I type something like tag drill, appended over here. So that's how we can create dynamic elements in our. You can just create dynamic elements and we can append to our DOM with it. Blah, blah. So that's how we can do it. So I hope you guys get till now. If you have anything, any confusion or anything, you just ask it. Cool. So we have seen how can we add an element, but we haven't seen how can we delete a node from it. The JavaScript and you can say DOM give us this feature as well. We can delete a node as well. So it is pretty much simple. We, instead of writing append, we can just use remove node. So it is like pretty simple. If I try to remove and let me create an temporary item to remove it. If I give it an ID equals to remove it. These IDs are strings. You can give any name which you like. So what I want, as soon as I click on any in this button, it should get removed. So for this, what I'll do, I'll use document dot remove child. Which child I want to remove? But before the child, as we know, in the append child or remove child, we need to pass a node, the reference to a node. So we should be getting the reference to that. So how will we get the reference? Let removeable equals to document dot get element by ID, remove it, and we will pass it removable. remove it element is over here, but as soon as I click on this one, I think we have, oops, I got something. Since the hierarchy is something like, since our document is referring to this over here, but we want something node which is inside body, so we should be passing the reference of body as well. So what I'll do, document.get element by tag name body, and since body will be only one, so I'll using the 0th element and I'll remove the child from there. See, the child, the node has gone, nothing in. So that's how we can remove an element from node. So removing clear. So let's build something. Let's complete this to-do application. So this to-do application will consist of like adding a node, adding something to-do item over here. Mark it as done. Mark it as done can be we'll be using the CSS properties for that. So let's get our hands on that. So I'll show you few level wise. Let me use my notepad, sorry, paint for that. As of now, we have this one R is document. So we have two things over under this one. The one is head and the other one is body. So in body, we have different type of things. The one is input, the other one is button, and now third we have input list. Sorry, the to-do list. So what I want to append the things inside that to-do list. So I will be creating few elements in this. These could be like div elements or any type of elements. So div is basically nothing but a container, a static container which has some, which doesn't have anything, just to wrap something. So in this, we'll be having few things. In the div, we have three type of things. The one would be the text. I'm so sorry for this bad thing. And then we have the two buttons. The one would be mark is done and other would be remove. So that's how our hierarchy will look like after we are just creating this project. So we have this body. Under this body, we have this input field. We have this button which says click, add a new to-do item. Then we have the list of to-do items. Under this list, we have set of divisions. And under that divisions, we have the text as the to-do item and a button which allow us to mark it done and other button to remove the child. So how we'll do that? So before that, so as I've shown you, to remove a particular child, we must have a reference to a particular child. And how we'll get the reference? The best we can do is like we can have a unique ID assigned to it. So firstly, let me do some few things. So I have a to-do counter, which I misspelled it. So to-do counter, so which is like how many to-dos do I have till now. So as soon as I click on to-do counter, I have to increment it. You can use this thing. You can also use to-do counter plus to-do counter plus 1. It's like you can do any type of thing. So let's go this way. So what I do, I created a to-do counter which allows us to say how many items do I have till now. Nothing, just to create a state of application. And yeah, that's it. So now we'll create an outer div as I've shown you. The inside this is outer div. Inside that we have three elements. The one would be text, other would be button, the third would also be button. So let me create a div. The name is outer div equals to document dot create element. What type of element I want? I want div. That's it. We don't want to do anything with this div. Since we already created this to-do items, we'll keep it as it is, and now we'll create some buttons like let mark done button equals to document dot create element. What type of element? Button. Yeah. So now we created a button, but now we also give it a text to that button since we are given over here. How we'll give that? This same methodology as we have given over as above, like mark done button dot inner text equals to right, mark done. So as of now, I created outer div. I created a to do since we don't need this now, and I created a button. So as I've shown you the structure, the outer div will contain both of these nodes. So I need to append these nodes to this division. How will I do that? It is the same method as we are doing above. Outer div dot append child. What child I want to append? To do item. So the childs will be appended as in the order which you are mentioning over here. You see, I appended these styles to this outer div, but outer divs are not appended anywhere. So what I'll do, I'll append this outer div to my this division, which is to-do list. How will I do that? I already have the reference to it. You can see we have to-do list reference, which is referring to this one. So I'll do to-do list dot append child. What child I want to append? Outer div. So now you'll see we'll be as soon as I click on something like Bharat, you see mark done button is over here. If I add something like tech drill, mark done button over here. So that's how we can create multiple elements. We can assign multiple elements to a particular div, and if you'll see these two elements are under one div, and this is under to-do list. So now how does the structure look like? It is something like it is same as like body. In the body we have this division, and inside that div we have multiple divs, as I shown you. Inside this div we have multiple divs. We can add more like tech drill mega month, but we can also create multiple buttons. Like I have created mark done button. We also need the done button. So done, yeah, or remove button. We want to create a button and we'll name it as remove, and we wanted to append it after this mark done button. See, we haven't, I think we named it wrong. It's see, remove button is over here. So you can create as much as element you want to create with this create element, and you can append it like level wise. So I want to append it to this outer div. So this to do item has a node which is like p node. So p node's parent element would be this outer div, and outer div's parent element would be to do list, and to do list parent element would be a body. So that's what we see over here. So this div has parent element to do list has parent element body. So did you get it? Just quick a yes or no if you guys understood what I meant. Cool, thanks. Yeah, so we created it. Now let's give these buttons some action. When we click on this, it should perform some action. Okay, so let's create first. Let's create those things. Before creating those things, I'll show you how can we assign IDs to these IDs or class to these. So let's suppose I want to assign the ID which we are like counter as the counter as it is. Like the first one, first element should be my first element, first list. So what I'll do, I quickly let me just let ID is ID equals to let me just do it something like to do plus a counter, or to be precise, let's give it ID as to do counter only. Yeah. So we got the reference to that ID. We just got ID as ID. Now what we'll do, we'll assign outer div dot ID. What I want it as to do plus that ID. Now we'll to do hyphen. Let's give it a hyphen as well. Now we'll start seeing if I add an element, it has an ID 1. If I add element again, it has ID 2. It has ID 2 to 3. So if I need to perform some action with this to do ID 3, how will I do that? Like document dot get element by ID. What ID we have? Since we generated these ID, we can also use it in JavaScript. How we'll use it? To do -1. You see, I got the first node, and I can perform any type of action like style dot color equals to red. You see, the color has changed. So that's how we also do with the markdown as these options. So what I want, my markdown should be performing some action. So how will they? As we already saw, there is like a method called click on click. So this is a function. So what I'll do, I'll create a function, and I want to remove this node. I want to mark this node as done. So as I already shown you, this on click calls a function. So that's what we are doing over here. This markdown button on click, it will call a function. In this function, we can also call some other function. Like if I mark on function, so we can do this as well. So if I create this, if I add an element, if I click on markdown, it will call markdown. Again, click on, it will call markdown. So that's what we are doing. Same with we can do with functionality with the this one remove button as well. So if I go there and if I name it remove function, and if I copy it. By the way, in JavaScript, it doesn't matter where you defining the function. You can define it over here. You can define it before calling. So it does not even matter where you're defining the function and where you're calling it. See, a markdown is calling. Oops. So markdown is calling markdown function. Remove is calling remove functions. Did you guys get this one? How we assign some functionality to a function which is created on runtime or which is created dynamically by JavaScript. Cool. So now let's see how can we mark it as done and how can we remove this element. So let's remove it. So for the removal, we need some reference to it. So what I'll do, I'll pass this ID to these functions. Since yesterday I showed you how we create a parameterized function. So that's why what I did. I want to remove this one. So what I'll do first, I'll get the reference to the element which I want to remove. Like let current item equals document dot get element by ID. Since we are assigning the IDs as well to them, so we'll be using the same method of IDs. I got the document from there, and I simply can say I want to remove it from this to-do list. So to-do list dot remove child. What child I want to remove? My current item. If I add something and if I click on remove, you see it's gone. Again, if I add few more, if I click on this one, it will remove that only, since we are removing from an ID. Same we can do with the markdown functions. Since in markdown function we wanted to mark it as done. So you see, we have this something like I have Bharat over here, and we strike it out, line through it basically. So we'll be going to use the same. So what I'll do, I call this markdown function with the ID which we have over here. This is nothing, just an ID to give to make it a unique basically in every object node. So we'll do the same. Let uh, current item equals to document dot get element by ID. What ID? Since we have a prefix of to do hyphen plus ID. We got the reference to it. Now we wanted to apply some CSS property. So how will you apply it? Current item dot style dot text decoration equals to line through. THROUGH. Yeah. So what it will do? It will so what it will do? It will just strike out that item which we just created. Let's suppose if I show you, you see there's a line. Let me just quickly zoom it. You can see this is what we can do. So we can, if we can remove it, we can just mark it as done. So we can just do this like, so this is how we can just assign some styles to it. We can also use classes. Like if I show you that, I hope you are aware about the class and all stuff. So let's create a class, mark dot mark done. Dot is used to define a class or to have properties in class. So what I want font text decoration as line through, and I want its color to be green. So how will we do this one? Since instead of assigning this one, I can do current item dot class list equals to, I can now have multiple classes assigned to it, like mark done. And if I add few more classes like font 20 or font 100, let's make it a bit big. Font size 100 pixels a lot, 30 pixels. So how will I assign two classes at same time? So I'll assign markdown, then I use a space, then that font 30. I add something, you see it's nothing. As soon as I click on markdown, it changes color, it also enhances it, and you see those two classes are already assigned to it. Again, see it's connect. So I hope you got this one. If yes, then give yes or no. Or if you have any questions regarding to this, you can just ask in chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and speak. Am I audible? Cool. Yeah. So I hope you get how we created this to-do application. Since I mentioned yes earlier, it has features like adding a to-do item, marking it as done, removing it from node. So that's how we did. So let me walk you through once again how we done it. So we have this one input box and one button. So as soon as button is clicked, it will start appending those items to our to-do this division. So how we'll do that? Firstly, we need to get the reference to that node. So how can we get it? By ID or by names or something like that. So in this case, I'm using by ID. Then as I have the counter, this is nothing, just to maintain a state or to assign those auto-generated IDs to these, but these fields, this to do 1, to do 2, to do 3. So that's how. Yeah. So what it will doing, it is just nothing, is calling to do function. When as soon as you click on this button, it call a to do function, and this to do function call a render to do. In the render to do, we have the outer div, which is nothing but just a div for the to do item, which we have 3 fields. So instead of appending 3 fields to this directory to do list, I'm just defining it a block wise. Like this is a block, this is another block, this is another block, and it has 3 nodes. So we can create dynamic elements using create element method, and same with we are creating a p method, p tag, and we are creating a buttons. So in the button we have the on click method, and on click method has a function. So that's what we did. We called a function over here and marked in function, and the marked in function, it's append some classes to it, like marked in classes which we created over here. It dynamically append those classes as you click on the button and font 30, and remove function, it removes that element, that node from the to do list. So I hope you got this one and you have a clear idea how can we do DOM manipulation using JavaScript. Yeah, so let's talk what next you can do with JavaScript. So JavaScript helps us to create like lots of applications, as I told you yesterday as well. So you can use any type of framework which are written on JavaScript, like this React. You can use React, which is a JavaScript library, to build the user interfaces. You can use AngularJS. It's also a JavaScript library. You can use JavaScript pretty much every. You can do. These are basically a reactive frameworks to create better UIs or to create fast UIs. You can also use Vue.js. And since you know the basics of JavaScript, you can also move towards Node.js. So Node.js is a runtime for JavaScript, which allows you to create server-side applications. So that's what you can do with JavaScript. You can do anything, pretty much everything with JavaScript, from front to back, in mobile applications, in embedded systems. You can also do so wherever the JavaScript engine is present, you can just run JavaScript code. So I think we have 3 minutes ago. So that's it from my side. So I hope you had a great weekend with us. Sorry, great time with us, and thank you so much for running my sessions. So that's it, guys.